In this video, we're going to talk about a concept called enumerations. And enumerations are sets of values that give instructions to functions in Power Query. Now, if that's confusing, stick along because everything will be clear after this video. So enumerations, it's a pretty difficult term. However, they're very important in the M language, and we're going to dive right in to give you an understanding of how you can use them. I created a random table here. And on this table, you can find some dates, products, and amounts. Now, if I want to do something with this table, I could, for example, say that I'm interested to see what the values are from small to big. Well, I could go here, say sort ascending, and this will automatically sort my values. Now, have you ever looked at the M code that this generates? Because sorting a value makes use of the table sort function. And the first argument is a table where it needs to sort. The second argument is basically the columns where it needs to sort things by. So in this case, we sorted by the amount column, and it additionally provided instructions on how to sort, in this case in an ascending way. I could additionally add another sort here, and you'll find that there is an outer list with two inner lists that both have the instructions on how to sort. Now, if we're talking about enumerations, order ascending is one of those enumerations. It's a descriptive value of how the function should behave when sorting. So in this case, sorting alphabetically or ascending. Now, to provide you with an idea of what enumerations exist in the M language, let's just go over to Power Query How. If you get to Power Query How, on the left side, you can find a section that says Enumerations. And if you then click on Enumerations Overview, you're going to find a nice overview of all the enumerations. Now, some of them are more used than others. And what's great is that if you find an enumeration, like order type leads you to a page that shows all of the different enumerations that belong to the order type. In this case, that is order descending and order ascending. But it also shows you the value that it represents. So what does that mean? Well, actually the functions that we were looking at here, those functions are meant to work with integers. So instead of providing an instruction like order ascending, I could put the value 0 here, and the same for that second argument here. And the result will be identical. Now, we could have seen that here, because we have order ascending, and order ascending is represented by an integer value of 0. So by providing 0, the values sort in an ascending order. But the opposite is also true. If I want to sort the values descending, I could also provide the value of 1. So if I, for example, say the amounts, I want those descending, you'll see that this actually changes. But I could change this to order descending, and it will mean the identical thing. It's similar. Now, what's so great about Power Query How here is that if you're looking at where to use these enumerations, you can scroll down, and even on this page, you can see that the list sort function, table add rank column, and the table sort functions all make use of this enumeration. So that helps you to figure out like where you can use it. From here, you can go to, for example, list sort. And also here from list sort, it describes for you what enumeration is supported. So then in the bottom, you can see like, hey, there's some additional articles and there's helpful samples, but you can also go back to the order type and see an example of how these work. So that's very helpful. But there's something else that you should know about order types, about the enumerations in general, I would have to say. Let's, for example, say I want to go to, let's say we create a new column. And I'm curious what day of the week the date is. Now there's a function for this. It's a function that is date, day of week, and it will return me the day of the week number for the date. So I could say dates, I close it, and I could call this day of week number. In this case, it tells us that the 17th is the second day of the week. Now let me just include another column so we actually see what day it is. So I could say we have the day, name of the day. There we go. So what we find is Power Query has said that Tuesday is an index of 1 and Thursday has an index of 3. But the date day of week function supports an enumerations for its second argument. Let's find out which one. So we go back to Power Query how. I could say date, day of week, and sorry, we were looking at day of week, not day of week name. Then day of week allows you to provide an optional first day of week. So the day type is the enumeration that is supported here. It provides you the function with extra instructions on what the first date of the week is. So if I want the first day of the week to be Wednesday, I could add this as a second argument. So I could go here, I'm gonna copy it, say okay, date. Let me undo that, we were too quick. It's all about the previous step. The date day of week function is the one that supports this function. Now the fun part here is, if I now go to the day name, you can now find that with Wednesday as the first day of the week, the day of week number is 0. Now that's not the point of this video. I just wanted to show you two different examples because enumerations, they can be used in any context where an enumeration is supported. And this is important for you to know. So let me show you what I mean. So we know that the day Sunday is represented by an index number of 0. But we also saw that order ascending is also supported by an index number of 0. Now check this out. If I go back here, we go to sorted rows. And let me just start over. We're going to click this away. And I'm going to sort these values. Now by default, you will see the enumeration, order ascending, which is supported. But because it is represented by 0, and day Sunday also is represented by 0, I can click OK, and the result stays the same. And likewise, if I would change this to Monday, and press OK, Monday is represented by a 1. So this means that 1 gives the instructions to table sort to reverse the sorting order. So it's now in descending order. Now that goes to say that enumerations, they provide instructions to functions, but they are simply syntax sugar for an integer that's underneath. So whenever you see this, I don't recommend it, first of all, because it's confusing. You don't sort something by day Monday. But I did want to show you this so you know what's happening. So enumerations, they give instructions to the functions. And if you want to know which enumerations are there and how to use them, Power Query How will help you out. Now let's just quickly scroll through so you know exactly what the most popular enumerations are. If you're going to delve into them, make sure you have a look at rounding type for rounding numbers. Rank kind type will help you with ranking your values when you create a ranking column. There's a couple of others here, but most of them are not as important. But some that you will see a lot is the missing field type. So if you're, for example, selecting columns, then the missing field type can help you here. For example, let's say you're trying to remove a column, but that column is removed from the data source. This enumeration allows you to not return an error if you want to. Then some other pretty important ones. The group kind type for table group. Have a look at that one because you can group your data in a different way that either respects your values or groups on the global level. And then the join kind type you will also see a lot with left outer joins, inner joins, etc. And lastly, we just had a look at the day type, also very important. Now, if this is the kind of information that you want to learn about, we wrote a book, which is the definitive guide to Power Query M. We delve into enumerations, we delve into expressions, but you'll also find the fundamentals for data types. You'll learn how to build your own functions, optimize the performance of your queries. So I highly recommend looking into this book if you want to master the M language. That's all for today. If you don't want to miss my next video, subscribe to the channel, and then I hope I see you in the next video.